So Microsoft is cutting 4,800 jobs as it shifts resources toward AI. Shares fell nearly 1%. A large portion of the layoffs are within the company's Xbox division. It's set to lose 1/5 of its total headcount. Microsoft is just the latest tech firm to cut jobs in a pivot toward AI investments. Over the past year, Amazon, Cisco, Salesforce, and Meta have done the same. The former governor of Indiana just co-launched a nonprofit to help U.S. workers navigate a more AI-driven economy. Eric Holcomb started Raise Us along with former U.S. Secretary of State Gina Raimondo. The organization is deploying AI training programs in these 4 states. You see them there with the goal for companies to reskill their workforces rather than scale them back. Raise Us is backed by top tech firms, including OpenAI, Amazon, Anthropic, and Microsoft. Raise Us co-chair and former Indiana Governor Eric Holcomb joins us now. Good to see you, Governor, and thanks for being here as we all try and parse the effect AI will have on all of us. I mean, what do you hope to get done with this project, and what kind of impact can it have? Because as developed economies, we've never really been good at it, have we, in terms of pivoting, whether it's reskilling, retraining. Yeah. So how do you think we can overcome this?
Yeah, there's always been a healthy dose of skepticism because so many things have been tried in the past. Some have succeeded, some have failed. But we know that with every technological advancement since the beginning of time itself, there has been an effect on the future of work and workers and the workplace. It's just now the scale and pace is different. And so we have to have a somewhat different approach to how we do skill up our American workforce. We know the backdrop says that we already need more teachers and truckers and tradesmen and women, more veterinarians, more nurses, more air traffic controllers, pilots, et cetera. With AI and quantum and robots over the next decade, we need to make sure that our workforce development systems, programs, policies are consumer or client or citizen centric, that being they're more affordable, more accessible, and certainly folks are more aware of them.
So the task at hand that you just outlined is daunting enough. So what can you actually do? And I know that you guys point out that you're going to have incentives to retrain and redeploy workers, new approaches, training models. But are we also talking about a guaranteed national income, unemployment benefits that last longer? Like, give me a sense of what it might look like for the average worker.
Sure. Well, we definitely need to look at our unemployment insurance systems. They were designed somewhat 90 years ago, and with AI and, as I mentioned, quantum and robotics rolling out, we need to make sure that they're able to not just absorb folks going on the unemployment rolls, but how quicker do they get back to work? How do they get a bigger paycheck once they do? And that all runs through getting the new skill set for this new time. And so, yes, we will pilot new ways of thinking about things. I don't think a kind of universal basic income is a route to go. Paying people not to work, to become more dependent. We're trying to do the opposite. We're trying to make sure people get the skill set so that they are independent, so they have more options, so they can pursue a better quality of life. And that has to run, again, right through being prepared for what the supply and demand of the workforce of the business sector is craving. And so we will pull together, as you alluded to, we will pull together business folks, we will pull together post-secondary and education and training providers, and we will pull together governments, primarily, as you mentioned, 4 states to start with, but we've got 50 in territories, so more work to be done, and we'll try some things that maybe haven't been tried before, and we'll try to do a lot more of what's already working.
We mentioned the tech companies involved here. How will you make sure, I know you're good at holding people to account, to make sure those tech companies, that this isn't a token PR campaign for them, that real people with real jobs get the leg up that they need?
Absolutely. Well, we make the decision, and thankfully everyone who has supported us, in addition to those tech companies, understands that we make the decision. We've also are standing up a policy lab that helps inform us of what investments to make and where and when and how much. But I got to say, I'm grateful that any business who is willing to contribute to this collective action wants to be part of the solution and think outside of their own business model because they know that technological advancements will have an effect on folks. My great grandfather was a blacksmith, and in the 1940s, he did an interview and said, "The good Lord gave it and replaced it with rubber." He used to work on wood wheels, and now he's working on tractors. And he said, "Who knows what the future holds?"
Fair.
But the boy here is making things with his hands like airplanes. That boy was my dad on a dirt floor in the 1940s. So much has changed. We just need to make sure that we're prepared for those changes.
Yeah, you have a valuable perspective there, Governor. I thank you, and we'll continue to check in with Raise Us to see how it does. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you.